having a massive increase in unemployment.
Is filled with people who are critically ill from COVID-19.
This is just an unprecedented situation in the United States. I mean, you've got 3 crises going on at the same time.
Vowing to send U.S. troops into the streets of American cities if local authorities don't control the protest.
Are you going to allow the government to tell you you have to wear a mask?
That man harassed me for not wearing a mask.
Increasingly, we Americans occupy alternate universes. There is very little common ground left, only battling perceptions of reality.
Escalated into fistfights.
Political arguments seem to be taking over social media.
You're on social media where simple conversations can go south.
Like the growing hatred towards anybody that's conservative, being labeled a Nazi or a white nationalist isn't true.
On the streets of Charlottesville today, the hate boiling over white supremacists.
1 person is dead after a synagogue shooting.
In the wake of the synagogue shooting in Poway, leaders from the National Conflict Resolution Center have launched a new program to bring people together that wouldn't normally spend time with one another.
The National Conflict Resolution Center will host a workshop to find ways to prevent violence and hate in our communities.
Human beings by nature are afraid of other people who are different from them. And what NCRC does is demystify other.
We have actually seen families that can't even talk about race relations or politics at a family dinner anymore.
Times like these that we all must learn to live, give, and love again.
Diversity and inclusiveness make us better in every aspect of our lives.
The social justice issues, police brutality, and I felt particularly that our students and our college communities were well prepared for this, largely because we had invested over the years in many training programs. We had only to reach into the toolbox.
The mission of NCRC is to get those tools in the hands of as many people as it can, to disrupt the pipeline to prison, to support restorative justice in our schools instead of expulsion and instead of the juvenile justice system.
So this is just one example of an incredible program that NCRC has worked with us on that represents what the future of criminal justice should look like.
We are on the precipice of making important systemic changes in American society.
They want to create civility and civil discussion, not yelling and screaming and venting and pointing fingers, but on finding solutions.
Together, we can do more as a community to bridge the divides and close the systemic, economic, and justice gaps that still exist today. Bank of America recently announced a 4-year, $1 billion commitment to help local communities advance economic opportunity and address racial inequality.
You just have to have empathy for the people you're working with and understand where they're coming from, and maybe I can help them. Maybe they can help me. So it's a new way of looking at the future.
I'm Wesley Lowry of CBS News, and I'm proud to support the National Conflict Resolution Center's fight against racism.
NCRC believes that there is always a better way, and that way, it's a path forward.
I'm Robin DiAngelo, author of White Fragility, and I am thrilled to be able to support the National Conflict Resolution Center's commitment to anti-racism.
We're in a challenging time in the championship rounds of life, and those are the toughest of rounds. We're much better than this. We can win, and I believe NCRC is one of those tools that we need.
Hello, I'm Ibram X. Kendi. I'm the author of How to Be an Anti-Racist, and I'm excited to support the National Conflict Resolution Center's efforts for equity and justice for all.
It's never been a more important time for conflict resolution at home, in our communities, and throughout the nation.
The country needs the National Conflict Resolution Center today more than ever.